Timber. It's what you yell when a tree is about to fall over. But lucky for us, when it comes to roller coasters, that will never happen. Well, that's a special case. That's RCCA. Anyway, timber implies trees, which implies wood, which is what is used to build a lot of roller coasters. So, you would think, most of these must be made of wood, right? Not at all. More than half of these are steel, but don't get mad at them, they have their reasons. Timbers come in all forms: twisted, shivering, mystic, wolf, and so many others that make no sense. But which timbers does it best? There's only one way to find out. Let's rank them up. This is timbers versus timbers versus timbers versus... Yep, we're making this happen once again. First, thanks to Chris Viola for suggesting timber as the next installment of this series. You're probably wondering, how many coasters could possibly have timber in their name? 17. The answer is 17. Bet you didn't expect that, did you, smart guy? And there are even 2 coasters that used to be called timber, but they had to leave the timber life behind. First, Rock and Roller Coaster. Yes. Wait, no, not that one. The one at Opryland, USA. This was an aero mine train that used to be called Timber Topper. It closed with the park in 1997, made a stop at a park in Indiana but was never built. And in 2003, it found a brand new home in the best of the Six Flags parks. Great Escape. You can ride this today as Canyon Blaster. The other one is Fairly Odd Coaster at Nickelodeon Universe. Here you go, another steel coaster, but this one was known as Timberland Twister from 2004 to 2007. That theme fit the old Camp Snoopy, where the whole park was themed to wilderness. But when Nickelodeon took this park over in 2008, it got its Fairly Odd theme, and this Gerstlauer spinner, by the way, the original Gerstlauer spinner, still operates to this day. Number 17, Runaway Timber Train at Landmark Forest in the UK. This is a steel family coaster, but the trains look like they were made of wood. It's also surrounded by trees, or timber if you will, so I call that theming. It was built by IE Park, an Italian manufacturer that has made some weird rides. And even though this was Landmark Forest's only coaster, it was removed in 2021 after 12 years of operation. It's now at a park in Italy and it's called Regal, which according to Google Translator means nothing. Hey, at least I tried. Number 16, Timber Ride at Legoland Billund in Denmark. This was a small Zero Tivoli, not even 200 feet long, not even themed to Legos, though there was a sign that says Lego Rado Timber Trading Company, so that's a thing. But check out those log cars, those are awesome. This had a really pretty setting, opening in 1978 and being removed in 2013. This was the original Legoland Park opening in 1968, and frankly, I was stunned that there was a Legoland that's over 50 years old. But look at that, there you go, proof. Number 15, Twisted Timbers at the Land of Make-Believe in New Jersey. You may think, this must have came before the one at King's Dominion, right? Right? Nope, they really went there. They slapped Cedar Fair right in their face, and they did it with an SBF spinner. You gotta do better than an SBF spinner if you're gonna be that bold. This opened in 2020 and it's your typical spinny steel coaster. And yes, of course, you sit in a log because, well, you know, timbers. Number 14, Timberline Twister at Knott's Berry Farm in California. Bradley and Kay graced Knott's with their only kiddie coaster back in 1983. A pretty basic double out and back layout with some sick ejector airtime hills. Well, not much airtime, but the way a tall person has to twist their legs into a knot just to fit in the car, that can make you sick. That's why there's a max height limit, so ride it before you get too tall, or just hunch over a lot. Also, gotta point out those trains. Again, you're riding in a log. Number 13, Timber Twister at Gilroy Gardens in California. In 2001, Gilroy Gardens finally got 2 coasters. One of them was this Zero Tivoli family coaster. I've ridden this and it's not bad. It's one of those twisted figure 8 layouts in a 13-car train. Surely, this train is made of logs, right? Well, let's see here. Holy that's a snake. But don't revolt just yet. This coaster is out in the woods and it's hard to see the layout, so it's surrounded by timbers. So I say, it's allowed to use the name. Number 12, Big Timber Log Ride at Enchanted Forest in Oregon. Yes, this is a coaster. I know that because I rode it. And if you know me, you know that I hate water rides. I do not like getting wet and this thing soaked me. I thought maybe I could get away without getting drenched, but on that first pre-drop, it was all over. It got even worse on the final drop. But look at this little drop in the middle of the ride. That makes this log flume a coaster, and I wrote it for the credit. Anyway, log flume, timber, it makes sense. Number 11, Timberhawk, Rite of Prey at Wild Waves in Washington. Finally, a wooden coaster called Timber, and this one is pretty bad. I mean, look at this, it looks legit. 75 feet tall, 2,600 feet long. But I rode this twice, and it made me realize S&S has no business making wooden coasters. This is a boring ride. It's not rough, but it doesn't do anything, so, like, why would it be rough? It puts no stress on the track. Being at Wild Waves is a little more impressive. It's a big custom wooden coaster, so kudos on that at least. Number 10, Timberwolf at Worlds of Fun in Missouri. Here we go, another Woody, and this one is 100 feet tall and over 4,200 feet. But then you see two factors that make you cringe. Built in 1989 and built by the Den Corporation. Yeah, most of those Den coasters have been torn down or RMC'd. Timberwolf is still going strong, but this ride has some problems. It definitely feels like a long ride, but man, watch out for that jackhammering. It feels more and more like being mauled by a Timberwolf. So, I guess, theming. And when you factor in 4,200 feet of track, that's a lot of time to get beat up. Number 9, Timber at Walibi Rhône Alps in France. Well, here's your only coaster doing the bare minimum.
What do you think of a person who only does the bare minimum?
Timber. Just timber. Well, they did throw in the exclamation mark. Kind of like Valley Fair. Valley Fair. Timber. They're really trying to drum up some excitement for this small gravity group coaster. Opening in 2016, it's only 55 feet tall. Not even 1,500 feet of track. It's your typical family-style gravity group Woody. These are a lot of fun, and check out that train. Check out that buzzsaw right in the front. Take that, Timber. Well, probably best off to avoid buzzsawing the track while you're on it, just like it does in the concept art. So yeah, anyway, Timber. Number 8, Timber Drop at Fraspertilles City in France. This park has to be some kind of nature theme park, so I looked up Fraspertilles, and it means fresh tortillas. Again, thanks Google. But check out this family coaster they have. Those are logs. Now Timber Drop. Logs, as you would expect. This is an SNSL logo that opened in 2011, and not only does it have those beautiful log cars, it goes through a big fake tree twice. That's some Disney level theming right there. You gotta appreciate that. Number 7, Timber Ripper Mountain Coaster at Okemo Mountain Resort in Vermont. If you had Vermont in your coaster pool for this video, you win. It's Vermont. That literally means Green Mountain, so this is a mountain coaster. This is 3,000 feet of mountain coaster goodness, built by Vegan, of course, and opening in 2010. The mountain has trees, so there you go. It's ripping through the timbers. Timber Ripper. Moving on. Number 6, Timber Twister at Spirit Mountain in Minnesota. Yet another vegan mountain coaster. And you got this half Lion King, half Starbucks style logo, so that's exciting. I only put this ahead of Timber Ripper because it's a few hundred feet longer. Otherwise, it's a mountain coaster. There's trees. The track twists around and down the mountain. This is fine with me. Number 5, Timber Terror at Silverwood in Idaho. This CCI wooden coaster is themed to an evil tree that wants to eat you, and I think that's a nuclear bomb exploding out of its head. At first, this was called Grizzly, but it changed pretty quick. That's a good thing. The Grizzly wooden coasters are horrible. I rode this a few times in 2019 and it was great. The first half was full of airtime. The second half was kinda boring, but overall, it was my favorite wooden coaster in the park. But then I heard they replaced their buzz bars with regular ratcheting lap bars, and that's such a party foul. For shame, Silverwood.
It's like slapping God across the face for giving you a gorgeous gift.
Number 4, Roaring Timbers at Sun World Hon Tham Nature Park. Yeah, that park has 6 words in it, in Vietnam. This just opened in 2022 and it looks like a really good GCI twister. 106 feet tall, almost 3,000 feet long, and apparently it's themed to the ride being really loud. After all, it was designed by Skyline Attractions, and we all know how loud their rides can be. But hey, it's a new GCI, and there's no Titan track that I know of. Who knows how many GCIs in the future will be all wood. Number 3, Shivering Timbers at Michigan's Adventure, in, obviously, Michigan. Flashback to 1998. Michigan's Adventure could expect a new coaster every 4 years or so. That's like Kings Island status. Then Cedar Fair took over, and the rest is history. As in, the idea of getting new coasters here seems like ancient history. Their prized possession is this massive CCI wooden coaster, 122 feet tall, over a mile of track, and I got to ride this for the first time last summer and I was very impressed. It's rough, no doubt, but the airtime is solid and there's lots of it. As for the timbers, as long as they're just shivering, that's fine. Just make sure they're not swaying. Twister 2, I'm looking at you. Just admire that sway and hope it's normal. It's Elitch Garden, so it's probably not. Anyway, Son of Beast, looking at you too. Wait, what were we talking about again? Anyway, number 2, Mystic Timbers at Kings Island in Ohio. GCI and Skyline made one heck of a wooden coaster. You got 109 feet in height, over 3,200 feet of track, and it's an out-of-control, glossy smooth airtime machine. It's themed to a haunted forest overrunning the park. This tree has a face, which is unusual. And then you got the shed. The one rule of business is don't overpromise and underdeliver, and they hyped up that shed so much and all we got was a scream. A drop track would have been awesome. Just put it on the brake run. It's never too late, Kings Island. Make it happen. Number 1. Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion in Virginia. It's not quite the caliber of an SBF spinner, but I guess we can settle for an RMC hybrid, one with some of the most aggressive airtime in the world. This is themed to an apple orchard, frozen in time by a mysterious force, and it was reopened by a careless businessman, ignoring all the legends warning him not to. Personally, I'm thankful for the guy. He's the real MVP. This was an RMC conversion of the old Hurler wooden coaster, and it's one of RMC's best projects. They didn't have much to work with, so they just loaded it with powerful airtime moments, one after the other, and threw in some well-timed inversions. It's an absolute riot, and even though Mystic Timbers is in my top 20, Twisted Timbers is still, in fact, the best Timbers. That's a wrap on the Timbers of the world. Let me know which one of these is your favorite, or which one looks the best, and if you would have rearranged anything here. Before you leave, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new here and love coasters, please give me a sub. If you like this parody style of video, check out my playlist for other videos just like this. Also, check out my links below for my Discord server, and my second channel where I post copyright-free off-ride footage, and my baseball channel if you love baseball as much as log-shaped trains. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.